Hello and welcome back to my channel. I find it weird that L'Oreal seems to have launched more infallible products and they're not getting talked about. Like, I feel like the Pro Glow and the Pro Matte when they launched were all over YouTube and all over Instagram, and then these most recent couple of infallible products I haven't seen anywhere. So when I went to local stores, I've seen it in Walmart, Shoppers, the Superstores, there's all of them, and I saw their display of the L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer. I was extremely intrigued, so I picked one up. So this is the L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer. Mine is in the shade 330 Ivory. I do believe these come in 25 shades. There was quite the big display of them at the Superstore. I haven't seen that same display at Shoppers and all the other Loblaw stores, so very impressed. Good job, L'Oreal, on this shade range. The lightest shade seems to be pretty fair, and the darkest shade seems to be pretty deep, so gotta give kudos where it's due. And I think in most stores I've seen this concealer, it has retailed for about $13 Canadian. On the packaging here, it says you get 10 milliliters of product, and when you open up the tube, this is what Emily Noel here on YouTube wouldn't call a doe foot, she would call it a buck foot, because this is a very large applicator. And it has quite the unique little puddle in the middle that really does hold product inside the doe foot applicator. It's quite like a well that really holds product in there, and I will tell you how I utilize that when we get to the application of this concealer. But first, let's learn a little bit more about this concealer on the L'Oreal website. It says L'Oreal Infallible Full Wear Concealer benefits. Experience more than a traditional concealer. Infallible Full Wear Concealer is our most pigmented and full coverage concealer with an extra large applicator to provide maximum coverage in just one stroke. Our waterproof, non-greasy formula won't transfer, fade, or flake and dries down to a thin, natural finish that lasts up to 24 hours. The extra large doe foot applicator and elastic texture allows for an easy application and extra playtime. Use under the eyes or for the full face to cover imperfections, redness, and scars. Available in 24 shades. 24 shades? I counted 25 shades. Oh well. My bad. Beside that, it says innovation. More than a concealer, full coverage formula for full face wear, extra large applicator, and elastic texture for easy application. This pretty much just says the same thing again. Now, I mentioned that I haven't seen a lot about this concealer on the interwebs, but I have seen a couple of things, and actually from the few mentions that I have seen of this concealer, it doesn't seem like people really like it. They seem to say it dries down a little bit too dry and crackly for them. So that's kind of part of the reason I was so intrigued to try it, because I have the wrinkliest under eyes of I'm almost 25, any 25-year-old you've ever met. So if it's gonna look wrinkly, it's gonna look wrinkly on me. So one of the best ways with any product to avoid that sort of crinkling is don't overuse it. So when I apply this concealer, I really make sure that when I pull out the applicator, I really wipe it off on the inside so that all the product that's left is really the product that sits in that well in the applicator. And then I literally put like a dot by my inner corner, and that's it. And you'll see that spreads out so far with my makeup sponge. If I added any more product than that, there would be too much makeup. Like, it would sit too heavily under my eyes. And I think that might be the issue some other people are having, is that they're applying it like your traditional thinner formula concealer, and it's not. It's a little bit of a thicker liquid, so you have to use less of it in order to get the coverage and it to sit the way that you want it to. So I applied just that dot, I blend it out with my makeup sponge, and then I do set it with a little bit of translucent powder. Not a lot, but I just find that maybe it's because I'm so wrinkly, but if I don't set it a little bit, I get creasing under my eyes still. But with that, I do find that it kind of sets itself. I like that it doesn't stay tacky. A lot of my other concealers that I often go to, like the Maybelline Age Rewind even, they kind of stay tacky, but even the parts that I don't powder eventually do dry down, and I could touch them and I'm not going to get concealer on my hands, But I don't find that it dries too dry or crackly or too matte on my skin. It does have a matte finish, but I don't find that it dries matte and gross looking. And I think a big piece of that, which you should be doing anyway, which is why I don't consider this a detriment to the concealer, like, you really need to make sure that your under eyes are properly hydrated anyway. I have been using the little Origins eye cream morning and night for a while now. I don't love that eye cream, but it's just the one that I have. And at this point, I have tested this concealer both using the eye cream beforehand and without using the eye cream, and you can really tell the difference. When I have used an eye cream in the morning and given it time to settle in or whatever, this concealer looks fabulous, like I have on today. It looks so good, it looks natural, it really helps brighten my eye area, it really helps my dark circles, it doesn't look wrinkly, it doesn't look too dry. So I would say I like this concealer, but it is very, very important to keep your under eyes properly hydrated underneath it. Another benefit I would say to this concealer is that because you need so little product, I can see this tube lasting me a very, very long time. You know, I'm not doing this whole space with concealer the way I often would because, you know, one little dot will blend out that far by itself anyway. Right now, I have had this concealer on for about 11 hours at this point. Usually I do the check-in 12 hours, but give me a break. And I still think it looks almost as good as it did when I first put it on. I mean, any sort of darkness that you're seeing is probably just transfer from my mascara. I mean, obviously it's not the fullest coverage concealer. There are fuller coverage concealers. I would consider this more of a medium coverage, but from my experience, it does wear a very long time. It does have a matte finish. I would say it's transfer proof. I haven't had any issues there so far, even when I've used it on a couple of my spots. I have probably the world's wateriest eyes, and I haven't noticed the concealer bunching or looking gross or whatever in any of the times I've had to wipe my eyes or whatever. So overall, I actually really like this concealer, but it's just, I really want to stress the point that you really have to make sure that your under eyes are like properly moisturized before you use this, or else you won't like it, because it will dry crepey and not pretty. But if you do try it, like, it's probably one of my new favorite concealers from the drugstore. This one and the Maybelline Age Rewind, I like them both because they offer me different things. The Maybelline one is a little bit of a wetter, dewy, naturally beautiful formula, but it's a little lighter coverage, whereas this one's a little more of a fuller coverage with a sort of natural matte finish. This is more of a full glam concealer, and then the other one is a little more of like a natural, I would wear it any day kind of deal, if that makes sense. And that's really all I have to say about the new L'Oreal Full Wear Concealer. I like it. I understand why it's getting sort of a bad reputation for being dry, but I really just think if you prep your under eyes properly, you'll like it. Some people might hear that and think, like, I don't want to have to do other steps to make a concealer work, and I totally understand that, and I have said similar things about other products in the past as well. I think products should work well on their own without needing a helping hand from anywhere else. But I'm willing to make the exception when it comes to skincare, especially around your eyes. Especially as we get older, under eyes is where you're going to show aging the most, and probably first, right? So anything we can do to help keep your under eyes moisturized and hydrated and less wrinkly, you know, for as long as possible, the better. I don't see it as an extra step for the concealer, because it's something you should be doing anyway. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to give it a thumbs up, and you subscribe to my channel if you have not subscribed already. And I'll see you next time.